Pokemon Legends Arceus, the game that everybody fanfully says is a Breath of the Wild mod, but actually that was the case before, when we got some of the leaks, before the actual game was officially announced. And then, bam, it was announced and everybody had their jaws drop all the way to the ground, and people are still recoiling from this whole comparison to Breath of the Wild because it looks really similar, or at least the concept of it does, which I think is a good direction for Pokemon, but still quite a few things that have not been touched on too much and in too much detail. We have gotten some leaks from a long time ago, even before the official announcement of this game, that have not been covered yet by the official Pokemon Company. But we do have some translations with some of the screen caps that we got from those leaks, and we can have a look at some new features that are coming in Pokemon Legends Arceus that we have not yet revealed by the Pokemon Company. So let's have a look. One such image is this. This shows the couple of screenshots that came out from, I think it was a Hong Kong leak, Japanese content of course, that was given to media sources before the actual presents that actually revealed Legends Arceus, which I think was quite shocking for everybody. And everybody was looking at this thinking, wow, that's a Breath of the Wild clone. Look at the Death Mountain in the background. And of course we have riding, we have climbing, we have flying, dude, everything looks so similar to Breath of the Wild. The open worldness, the backdrop, there's the graphics, the style of it, everything really now that it is. And of course we have had revealed the riding and the flying mechanics, which we now know come from two new Pokemon in the series. One being the Weirdeer right here, evolution of Stantler, pretty nice. And of course the Hisuian Bravery, completely new form coming in too. Of course the Weirdeer is a brand new Pokemon. And Basculegion here was not in the leaks, but we now know of course Basculegion comes with a surfing mechanic similar to what we already have in the games. But looking at this image again, guys, we still have the climbing, and people have been speculating that it either looks like sort of a Gallade, a new form, or a Nuzleaf. And yeah, considering the leaf coming out of its head, definitely looks more like a Nuzleaf now that I think about it, and definitely a new form too, not what we already know, because Nuzleaf is not that tall, not that slender. It's a cross between Gallade and Nuzleaf. So we definitely have more forms to actually get released to us, revealed to us, and we're probably going to get that stuff revealed before the game comes out. And we will still see new information about this, including the climbing mechanic most likely, as well as later in the video. But we also have other footage like this, and this was revealed to be just a still capture from the game, and people were wondering, is this a new Pokemon that is not? We're really spot on thinking there would be new forms in this game, because this image shows like a glowing thing, a glowing animation from after the Pokemon is hit, and it does not look like any Pokemon we know. Possibly a different kind of Farfetch'd, but now we're probably going to find out that it is a new Pokemon in the future. But there's something else that's really strange with this. As you can see up here, this is its health bar. This isn't just a random encounter. This is not the health bar that appears when you encounter a Pokemon in the wild in Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is what the battle screen looks like when you encounter a battle in the wild or from another trainer. As you can see, their health bars are down here and up here, and you got the moves appearing right here for all this different stuff. And the screen is obviously rather different. So over here, and we have a reason for what this might be. When we look at this stuff with all the text that was included, all translated with an app, when you scan your app with the phone over the things here, and when we look at the image in question here with this right here, this is the full image right here, and we have the big health bar above him right there. We see King Match. Okay, this is a rough, oops, my camera. This actually also reveals that Pokemon can attack your hero. So there's quite a lot going on here in this translation, because actually, as Lockston actually pointed out in one of his videos recently, the design, one from Barbe Elite as well, is this pretty cool, just like an adaptation, definitely